and welcome to another episode of Eric the Car Guy. I'd like to thank all of my current and new subscribers and all those nice comments on my 1-year video. Really meant a lot. Huge topic of the day is Toyota gas pedals. So I decided to make a little video about gas pedals and sticking gas pedals and those kinds of things to try to give you some idea, at least of my take on the whole situation. Toyota gas pedal problem involves two issues. They have posted two fixes for the problem. One is the repositioning of the floor mat so that the gas pedal does not get bound up in the floor mat, and then the other is a physical alteration of the gas pedal assembly itself, because they believe it causes too much friction and may cause the pedal either to hang up or not release quickly enough. They state at this point that it is not an electronic problem, but rather a mechanical one. So let's address the first thing, the floor mat problem. I'm fully aware that the car that I'm using to show you these things is not a Toyota, but rather an Acura. The principles are the same no matter what, if you have a Toyota or any car. One of my biggest pet peeves as an automotive technician was floor mats getting underneath the pedals. It's not just the gas pedal, it's the brake pedal also.
It's not just floor mats that I've seen here under the brake and gas pedals. It's things like water bottles, CD cases, toys, all kinds of stuff that gets caught up underneath there. So just make sure that your floor is clean and the stuff can't get caught up underneath the brake and gas pedals, because this is a dangerous situation.
I've actually had customers, that's customers plural, come to me and say, my car doesn't have the power that it used to. The reason for this is they've got a floor mat, half the floor mat is bunched up underneath the gas pedal and you can't fully depress it. Of course, if you can't depress the pedal all the way, there's no way you can get full power from the engine. The other problem is these pedals can hang up on these floor mats, which is the problem that Toyota is addressing, and cause the pedal to stay depressed. Just reach down, and if you've got a floor mat that's all bunched up underneath the gas pedal or just stays bunched up, just get rid of it and get another one, because it can become a safety hazard.
Now, quite simply, if you have this problem, move the floor mat back to where it's supposed to be and try to even it out and place it properly. This is not the right floor mat for this car, by the way. In fact, I didn't have floor mats for this car, so I just used this one. Some floor mats have a little hole here and a little hook. Actually, on this car, certain floor mats had a little assembly or hook that came out of here that was fastened to the chassis that actually held the floor mat in place. In fact, here's a diagram and that little hook that go into that spot that I just showed you and hooks through the floor mat here. Now, my car has one of these holes, but I don't have the attachment that goes into it. Okay, that's the first part of the problem, is the floor mats themselves. Keep them out from underneath the pedals, and if they've been there for a while and the floor mat won't unbend from the shape it's in, you can do one of two things. You can either cut off the part around the pedals, which kind of defeats the purpose of having the floor mat in a sense, or you can just replace the floor mat itself. It's your choice, but keep the floor mats from underneath the pedals. Now let's move on to the second problem. There's more than one possible cause to cause the gas pedal to stick. In the case of Toyota, apparently there's too much friction that's created inside the pedal assembly itself, and that is part 2 of their fix, where they actually install some kind of, it looks like, reinforcement to the gas pedal assembly itself to help prevent friction, which could in turn cause the metal to fatigue, wear, and begin to seize up. In addition to that, a sticking throttle I covered in how to clean a throttle body. What I will do for that is post a link in the sidebar. Even easier, I'll put an annotation right here. If you've got a throttle that sticks slightly when you first step on the gas pedal, it's highly likely to be carbon buildup inside the throttle body. Clean that out, and that usually relieves the problem. Now let's talk about what to do if your throttle sticks and it sticks wide open. This is a very dangerous situation, but it's easily remedied. The number one thing to remember is don't panic.
Toyota says that if you experience this problem, to firmly depress the brake pedal and you will be able to get the car under control. I'm offering another possible solution here, but this is not endorsed by Toyota.
So if you're in a situation and you're driving down the road and your throttle suddenly sticks wide open, shut the car off.
Doesn't matter if you're moving. Doesn't matter. If you just reach down and turn off the key, if your car's running away from you, the car will shut off, and that'll be that.
I'm probably going to catch the most flack for this part of the video, so use some common sense here. This will work with both manual and automatic transmissions, but if you have a manual, make sure you depress the clutch so that you can coast farther. Once you turn the car off, get out of traffic and coast to the side of the road. Then turn your hazards on and call for help.
Now, two things will happen when you shut the car off. One, you'll lose your power steering. So it's going to be very difficult to steer. The second thing you're going to lose is probably your power brakes. So your brake pedal is going to be very hard to depress. So it's going to get harder to stop, but at least now you're in control again. The car isn't taking off and getting away from you. So turn the car off, be prepared for the steering wheel to get stiff and also the brake pedal.
Okay, in summary. Number one, get the stuff out from underneath your gas pedal or pedals in general. Next thing, clean your throttle body if you've got a slightly sticking throttle. A dirty throttle body will not cause the car to accelerate uncontrollably. It will just cause a sticky throttle. And my experience in situations like this is people get hypersensitive to these things. So if their pedal has the slightest amount of resistance to it, they may cry foul and say that their gas pedal is sticking and they need a new car. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater here. Toyotas are great cars. This has happened on a few cars in a few isolated incidents. But they are addressing the problem. They've recalled over 4 million vehicles worldwide, or at least 4 million vehicles worldwide, something like that. I don't know the exact number. And they've halted production. They've done just about everything a car company could do to try to rectify this problem. So don't start thinking that Toyotas and Lexuses are terrible cars, because they're very good cars. They just have problems just like anybody. Some time ago, if I remember correctly, it was Ford Explorers and tires, you know. The list goes on and on and on. Whenever you're making a lot of something, there's a lot of chances for things to go wrong. And this just happens to be Toyota's turn. So this will all blow over one day. They will address the problem and they will update all the vehicles. But like I said, they're good cars. Don't write them off just because they've had a few problems, and they're only on selected vehicles. But if you do have one of those selected vehicles, go to the dealer, have them perform the recall, and have a nice day. Move on with your life. Don't get hung up on it. I am Eric the Car Guy, and I hope this information was useful to you as always. And I always welcome comments, video and text. I prefer video. Some of you have been sending me video, and the text responses are okay. Lots of you ask me questions. I don't always have time to answer everything. I'm getting more and more on a daily basis, but I'll try. I'll tell you, I'll try. Thanks for watching, and if you could, hit the little yellow button if you haven't already. Have a great day. I've been forgetting my tagline lately. Stay dirty. Yes, be dirty. It's okay. I don't care what your mom says.